On this episode of Drinking Made Easy, we roll in to Cigar City. I get my hands on a $30,000 bottle of wine, kick some butt on a jet ski, and make a blue flame. It's Drinking Made Easy, Tampa. I'm Zane Lamprey, and my job is to drink. I'm traveling around with my mascot, Steve McKenna, and my buddy Pleplius, as we explore the local drinking cultures, customs, and cocktails. Along the way, we'll soak in the local flavor in an effort to make drinking easy. We're drinking our way through Tampa Bay, and our first stop is Cigar City Brewing. In order to get a firm grasp on the brewing process, Cigar City is letting me brew my own beer, Pleplius Plantain Ale. I can't imagine what's gonna happen when the Pleplius Plantain beer hits the market. It's gonna be a lot of pressure, but it's gonna be fun. We'll be swimming in beer. Banana beer, plantain beer. Thank you. The first step is to heat water to 177 degrees. These are malted, but they're not cracked.
Correct.
Got it. Then we need to crack some barley.
So that has a real thick husk, so you're not exposing any of those sugars. Once we crack it, all that is exposed.
The process of adding malted barley to water is known as mashing.
You just kind of want to sprinkle it in at the same time as you just mixing it.
Yeah, you don't want it to clump up. Steve, you could stir with some authority in this one.
Is this how you do it? At a slow pace like this?
Well, actually, yeah, you should do it all yourself.
Okay, move, Steve.
Don't miss.
That's good.
You still got one more to go.
All right, one more to go.
Don't clump it up.
Then we add calcium chloride to make the malt more flavorful.
It's gonna bring the malt forward.
Now it's time to add the plantains. This is how gorillas do it. They pull that end off. The opposite end that we think. So we just throw them in, or we squeeze them and mash them up?
Just squeeze them and mash them up.
Plantain?
This one's a two-hander.
Yeah, just work the tip.
Careful you don't slip on the peel there.
Steve, are these good bananas?
Yeah.
They're not bananas! They're not bananas, they're plantains, there's a difference.
Now let's mix it in a little bit more.
Now that we've added the malted barley to the water, we've created a sweet liquid called wort.
And just leave that in there if you want.
The wort needs to cook for an hour, so we head into the tasting room to find out more about Cigar City Brewing. We pour a few of their Maduro Oatmeal Brown Ale. When did you guys start your brewing?
Well, we just celebrated our 2-year anniversary on March 9th.
So March 9th, 2009.
Correct.
Okay.
That's when we sold our first commercial batch of beer. The company was founded about a year previous, but it took time to get the brewery up and running, to have all the permitting to operate a brewery in Tampa.
Why is it called Cigar City?
We're Cigar City Brewing because we kind of feel the Tampa Bay area has done a bad job exporting its culture.
Okay.
And Tampa is nicknamed Cigar City.
And you're keeping it real because even a lot of your names are sort of reflective of the Cuban culture.
Yeah, we try to name all of our products when applicable with local heritage.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Actually, you know what? We gotta go. We gotta go finish our beer. Now that the wort is ready, we can add our hops.
This is what's gonna give us more aroma. Go ahead and dump it. I'm gonna shut off the
As Steve stirs, all of the hops and proteins collect in the center.
Get your arms in, it's not hot.
I will. What we're gonna go ahead and do is take a gravity reading on this. It's called a refractometer.
After we've added the hops, we use a refractometer to test the potential alcohol content of the beer. Can you see the ocean?
Actually,
See
yeah.
ship approaching?
Yeah. Wanna check it out? Where the white and the blue meet?
Oh yeah, 10.5.
Yeah, 10.5 bricks.
After letting it cool, it can be transferred to the fermentation tank.
Let's open it up and start transfer.
In order to start the fermentation process, we then add yeast. During this process, the yeast will eat the sugar in the wort to create alcohol and CO2.
So this will take about
2 weeks.
2 weeks to
until it
do
goes
the
into
entire
the
process.
Through the magic of television, let's take a look to see how the Pleplius Plantain Ale turned out. All right, here's the beer. I'm about to try it for the first time. They sent us this keg a few weeks ago, and we're now just tapping it. It was a few months ago that we shot the scene that you were just watching. Here goes the beer. Holy, wow, it looks like we enjoyed it. Thank you, gentlemen.
Hey, thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm glad
Our future selves enjoyed it.
Okay, don't worry about it. Next, we head over to Clearwater to visit the location of the first Hooters and to try their Orange Shorts Margarita. The Orange Shorts Margarita is made with candied orange syrup, tequila, and sweet and sour mix. First, fill an Orange Shorts glass with ice. Then add candied orange syrup. Then comes the tequila. and the sweet and sour mix. Pour it into a shaker, rim the glass in rock salt, and pour into the Hooters Girl shaped glass. Add a lime wedge, serve with a straw. After we polished off our margaritas, I meet up with Hooters co-founder, Ed Drost.
We incorporated on April Fool's Day.
Okay.
Before that, and then opened on October 4th.
And the idea behind opening on April Fool's Day or incorporating on that day is that because you guys did not see yourself as having a long future.
No, I mean, would you?
You guys opened originally at this location.
This location had passed through 6 hands before us. Everyone came in and said that we were going to fail because everybody else had failed, and I got tired of hearing that, so one of my partners and I put tombstones out in front and put the names of all the businesses that had failed before us.
What was the name of the restaurant when it first opened?
Hooters.
It was Hooters.
Yeah. Steve Martin had a record out there that said you should appreciate the things of beauty in the world, including Hooters.
Right.
And actually, it wasn't controversial then, and it certainly played well in the owl, which we incorporated into the logo.
So the double entendre.
Yeah.
What was the original concept? Was it owls?
No.
Okay.
We wanted a place we couldn't get kicked out of ourselves. So
Right.
it doesn't every guy, right?
Did it work initially?
No.
Really? What happened?
Oh, man. For the first month, imagine this store with pretty good-looking girls, in fact, some really top-notch talent, wiping windows down because we had no customers. So I started taking up the marketing notch. I put a billboard up, hired the girl who won the Jose Cuervo bikini contest on Clearwater Beach, swam her in Playboy, and then Playboy did their whole story about Hooters. So that helped.
What year was that?
1986. The real kick was Super Bowl came to town. John Riggins, the star for the Redskins, found this place, and Saturday, before the Super Bowl, he skipped practice to eat oysters in here, which I don't know how that got leaked to the media, but it became kind of a story, and we went to 2-hour waits to get in. We brought a very innovative approach to marketing, because the girls could bring a lot of energy and really spice up pretty much any event.
Yeah. I think maybe I had this whole thing wrong. Steve should be a pretty girl.
You look a lot like one of the first guys that wanted to become a Hooters girl and literally filed suit. The EEOC charged us with discrimination against men, and they wanted $27 million. We were one of the lead stories saying, what's the government doing, Don't they have better things to worry about than to try to put a chain out of business? And the basis for our hiring was legal. It's called a BFOQ, Bonafide Occupational Qualification.
Oh. Well, where did Steve go? Steve.
Oh my God.
This is what we're trying to avoid.
Yeah, you don't want this.
This is scary.
That is offensive.
My beer belly showing?
Is that really your concern right now?
I'm glad you're wearing the pouch.
You're wearing the pouch over your pouch.
All right, nightmare. I don't think you're gonna make the calendar. Sorry.
That's better. Thank you very much.
This is why I always say that you should never send a man to do a woman's job.
Oh, there you go.
And there's some plates.
Wow, thank you. See, plates.
Oh,
Steve?
this is refreshing. I think we'll go with this.
Very much.
Good for
I gotta work for the rest of the day.
Well, this is how we get started.
Awesome.
Can't drink all day if you don't start early.
That's right.
There you go.
Coming up on Drinking Made Easy, bloody good gazpacho.
You can't taste the vodka.
You can't at all. It's like drinking gazpacho
Yes,
through a straw.
exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Welcome back to Drinking Made Easy. This isn't just a drinking show, it's also a drinking game, so you can drink along if you want. For example, here's rule number 1. Whenever I drink, you have to take a drink, so I'll take a drink.
Rule number 2, if you're the first person to see Pleplius, you get to make somebody else drink.
Right, and when I burp, not you, but when I burp, you have to go like this, and last person to do it has to drink. Oh, that was horrible. I'll drink for that one.
Drink.
For more rules, go to drinkingmadeeasy.com. We're drinking our way across the bay, and our next stop was at Empire Winery and Distillery to soak in some of the flavor of Florida. Empire Distillery opened in 2006 by 4th-generation Polish distiller Henry Kasprow. We sit down with Henry and try his award-winning V6 vodka that he distills from rye.
This is a single malt vodka distilled 6 times in alambics or copper pot stills. The beauty of this vodka is we're going to experience it at room temperature, meaning that it hasn't been contaminated with ice or any other juices. In this manner, you can experience the beauty, the aroma, the smoothness. Cheers. Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
Wonderful sweet notes, very smooth, very aromatic, warm going down,
So it starts off as this.
Starts off as the grain.
Okay.
The grain comes in as malted grain.
And so why rye?
Rye has a nice sweetness to it. If you smell and taste this, you can taste the beauty and the aroma and sweetness.
I can taste the rye.
You can taste the rye, and that's what vodka is all about. Single malt vodka distilled in copper pots, so retains the quality of the grain it's made from.
I think this is a pretty good vodka.
When we did the tests along the way to determine why it's called V6, V for vodka, 6 for 6 times distilled, truly distilled 6 times.
Why 6? Why not 5? Why not 7?
We found 5 was great, 7 was overkill. It was stripping the character from the grain it's made from. 6 was the perfect source of liquid as a result of the distillate. But if you want to have quality, if you want to be better than everybody else,
right,
you got to take that extra step. You got to take that extra measure. But there's something else. It's called pride and quality.
Right.
And you just can't do it for the sake of doing it. You got to have that it factor or X factor to be able to compete. Wait a minute. He's empty. Let's fill him up.
Instead of diving into more vodka, we tapped a bottle of Henry's orange jelly liqueur, just made from Florida Temple oranges.
We bring in Temple oranges, we squeeze them.
Okay.
The juice from the oranges is fermented.
Oh, so grappa. Am I using the right?
No.
But that's not even the right term.
No, it's not.
Eau de vie.
No.
Grape juice.
Close.
Okay.
Limoncello.
Oh, just please close your mouth.
Oh. Have another drink.
Smart man. All right, so it started off as?
Starts off as all natural oranges on trees. The juice is then fermented to make orange wine. The orange wine is then distilled to make orange brandy. The clear base, as we capture it through here, is used in distillation and maceration with oranges. If you smell it and taste it, it's all the beauty and aroma from the oranges. And actually, if you bring the peels, you'll smell the peels and you'll smell the same effect within this.
That's mighty tasty.
It is. And it's American, and it's right here.
It's fermented and distilled orange juice. The juice from oranges.
Correct. Yes.
Got
all
it.
natural.
And then you take that and you make that into a clear eau de vie. Is that an okay term?
Brandy or eau de vie, that's fine.
So then you reintroduce oranges into it.
Yes.
Orange peels?
Both. And if I told you all the secrets, I'd have to kill you.
Can you tell Steve and then kill him?
Our next stop is Columbia Restaurant, one of the oldest Spanish restaurants in Florida. Located in Ybor City, Columbia was opened in 1905 by Andrea's great-great-grandfather, Casimiro Hernandez Sr. When Casimiro first opened the restaurant, it was just a small cafe. With each generation, the restaurant has expanded. Now it takes up an entire city block.
This is a Cuban restaurant, correct?
Cuban Spanish.
Cuban Spanish.
Yes. We're Colombia restaurant, Spanish food, Cuban influence, but over the years we're kind of Colombia restaurant food at this point. We have a lot of our own recipes.
Got it. And you have a gazpacho soup Bloody Mary?
Yes, we do.
So this is the meaning of two. It's like Spanish and Cuban culture merging and making something wonderful like this. I feel the same about Bloody Marys and gazpacho.
Columbia has a drink that I'm very excited about, called the Bloody Gazpacho. The Bloody Gazpacho is made with vodka, Bloody Mary mix, fresh gazpacho, and garnished with a skewer of pickled vegetables. We start the Bloody Gazpacho by adding in the vodka.
Something like that, and then something like that.
Then we pour in the Bloody Mary mix.
And we pretty much do a half and half blend of the Tabasco Bloody Mary mix.
Okay. Very excited about this.
Top it off with Columbia's house-made gazpacho.
The important thing about gazpacho needs to be made every single day because gazpacho will sour. Make it on Saturday and serve it on Sunday, it's gonna get funky.
It's cold soup that's essentially made in a blender or a food processor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So what's in it?
It's cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, garlic, obviously.
It's a garden in here.
Yeah.
A little salt and pepper.
Yeah, we put some bread in there. A lot of people don't realize bread goes
Really?
in gazpacho. Yeah, and that's what kind of thickens it up.
That is a nice looking drink.
And garnish with an assortment of pickled vegetables.
Changes throughout the season. It depends on what's available. Today we've got some pickled mushrooms, green beans, okra, and a carrot.
Wow. I'm very excited to try this. Thank you very much. You can't taste the vodka.
You can't at all. It's like drinking gazpacho through a straw.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm a fan of Bloody Marys. But I'm a fan of gazpacho. But this is something new.
It's original to us. I've never seen another bloody gazpacho anywhere.
So people just have to get their hands on
A good
vodka.
gazpacho recipe.
A good gazpacho. But you know what? One ingredient was house-made gazpacho in your 5,000 plus square foot kitchen that did not
just appear overnight. I'm just saying, it's like people just come here.
Oh, definitely.
You see what I'm saying?
To the table, they garnish it for you, they make it for you.
So this place originally opened in 1905.
It's actually, this is the original bar that was here. This corner cafe was where it all started. And then we expanded to another dining room. Now we end up with 15 dining rooms.
And how many people can you seat
1,700.
In a night?
At once. So technically in one
1,700 at one
So
time?
yeah, so technically if we were completely packed, we could probably turn both of those all those tables twice, 3 times.
And you've done that?
Oh.
Will you flip them like that many times?
Oh, definitely.
So you're talking like
we've had a few Super
5,000
Bowls.
people?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Is there any place else in the country that has a whole city block for a restaurant?
I don't think so.
I don't know what the science is behind it, but I'm just impressed. Coming up on Drinking Made Easy, the 6-Pack Challenge. Welcome back to Drinking Made Easy. We're at Mandarin Hyde in St. Petersburg, Florida, and we're about to saber a bottle. If you want to learn how to saber a bottle, go to drinkingmadeeasy.com. And for good decisions, you probably should be holding a blade and have your friend catch it.
It's actually a small saber.
Yeah, it is. You ready, Jason? Yep. We're drinking our way around Tampa Bay, and our next stop is on the water.
It's time for the six-pack challenge.
All right, so today's 6-Pack Challenge is jet skiing. I would love to see you win.
Really? You want to double it up?
No.
Triple or nothing?
No, I'm just joking. I'm going to be
Possible.
For today's challenge, Lamprey and McKenna are racing jet skis. They'll start at opposite buoys. Whoever's the first to complete 6 laps is the winner. Jim the cop starts the race, and they're off. They pass each other on their way to the first buoy. Lamprey gets a little squirrely as he comes around into lap 1. He passes McKenna as he comes in for lap number 1. McKenna throttles out of the turn and sees Lamprey keeping up with it. As Lamprey comes around for lap number 2, the boys are neck and neck. Lamprey's a little slow out of the turn, and it looks like McKenna is actually gaining on him. McKenna fishtails as he pulls away from the buoy. He tries to regain control as he comes, and he runs over the buoy. That is going to cost him some time. Lamprey sees an opening to take back the race. He slides nicely around the buoy. Steve tries some sort of aerodynamic position as he approaches lap 4 and again misjudges the turn. Lamprey makes quick work as he slices around the buoy. He leans forward to plane out the ski. Lamprey is getting faster as McKenna continues to lose ground. Lamprey is smiling because this race is all his. He coasts into victory of 6-Pack Challenge number 6. McKenna is befuddled, and Lamprey is the winner of this week's 6-Pack Challenge.
6 in a row. Steve, come on, man. After we dry off, we make our way over to Burns Steakhouse. Burns is known for their famous dessert room, perfectly aged steaks, and expansive wine collection. But before we explore the wine cellar, we stop by the bar to have a drink with mixologist Dean Hurst. What cocktail are you gonna make for us?
Okay, so here we're taking a classic drink and we're gonna make a variation of it.
Got it. We start off with a variation of a classic cocktail called the Sidecar. Burns Sidecar is made with cachaça, orange-flavored whiskey, lime juice, simple syrup, and garnished with an orange peel. The Sidecar is traditionally made with cognac, but Dean replaced that with cachaça to give it a South American twist.
I have put an orange zest on top of it.
I wondered if an orange zest actually affects the flavor of the drink.
And it introduces your sense of smell.
Okay.
Immediately you smell it. But then it also puts a little coat of oil on the drink too.
Oh yeah, I can already smell the difference. So when did Burns open originally?
1956. Burn was easily 30 years ahead of his time. Because in the 70s, when Americans didn't drink wine and no one really knew that much about wine, he was buying train car loads of wine.
We then find our way to the wine cellar, where we meet up with sommelier Eric Renaud. Burns Steakhouse has the largest collection of wines of any restaurant in the world, with over 7,000 to choose from. These are all the wines that are available by the glass.
Correct.
And this is the entrance to the wine cellar.
To the working.
The working wine cellar.
These are the whites by the glass. There's another
60 or so different whites.
Wow.
7,000 different table wines offered, about 1,000 different dessert wines.
While wine is the main item kept in the famous cellar, it's not the only thing.
220 scotches that we offer by the ounce. 270 different cognac and armagnacs, going back to the 1700 offered by the ounce.
So you have spirits that are available from the 1700s?
Late 1700s, correct. So it's going to be $150 for a half an ounce or an ounce.
That doesn't seem that bad to me.
It's really not.
Next, we move back into the rare and valuable room where they keep their most expensive wines.
There's about 110,000 bottles on premise, and this is only about 15% of the inventory.
And Byrne, when he started, he didn't have computers to keep track of all this stuff. So you have found things that you didn't even know you had, right?
Well, the most recent was a 1947 Chateau Latour Double Magnum. Found it on a shelf, kind of buried. Now values about $30,000.
This was found when?
Just about a year ago. The last time I know this was on our wine list was 1984.
Well, we should probably put it back before I break it. You guys have millions of dollars worth. I mean, that's just an understatement.
500,000 bottles total.
Okay, well, yeah.
So even if you say $30 a bottle, you know, you do the math. But yet there's a number of bottles on the menu that are $30, an awful lot of them. And that's one of the biggest draws about Byrne's is you can get a 1977 California Zin for $40, $50 a bottle. There's nowhere else on the planet that you're gonna find this kind of wine at these kind of prices. It is the biggest wine collection for any restaurant in the world. We have 7,000 different wines.
And are they all available?
Everything is available for purchase, except for some of the wines that we think are entirely too young to drink.
And these have stayed at
50 degrees.
Okay, 50 degrees.
Since it's been purchased. It's not moving, it's not being jostled about. So generally speaking, the condition of our wines are exceptional.
After finding my way out of Byrne's wine cellar, we head to St. Petersburg for some fiery mixology. Mandarin Hyde is a pre-prohibition style cocktail bar. We start by trying a Manhattan that they age in a charred oak barrel.
What's going on here?
I made a Manhattan. I put it in here. We let it age for about 5 weeks or so. Put it in all the containers that we can put it in. This is my favorite.
And what do we do with that?
We drink it.
We drink it, yeah. This is extremely smooth. You can drink a lot of this. It surprises me every time I drink it.
To fully appreciate the aged Manhattan, I wanted to try it alongside an unaged Manhattan. The Mandarin Manhattan is made with rye whiskey, sweet vermouth, bitters, and garnished with cherries. First I try the standard Manhattan. Now, the aged Manhattan. This is a good drink. And I like that. That's one of my favorite Manhattans. But this one, that's really good.
It's really good.
For some reason, the oakiness is making the cherries pop more, and it's the same amount of cherries, right?
Right, yeah.
This is leagues ahead of that. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Next, we're making something on the menu called the Blue Blazer. It's a flaming drink, so we put Steve in a safe place. You guys do something with flame.
Right.
So we should keep Steve over there.
Yeah,
Yes.
keep his beard away, yeah.
Yes, keep your beard away.
We're gonna put boiling hot water in one. You're gonna do equal parts of these 4 ingredients.
The Blue Blazer is made with boiling water, 151, whiskey, old-fashioned syrup, and a dash of cinnamon. This, you know, you have strong thumbs to do this. We didn't get any simple syrup. You say simple syrup. There's something else going on there.
It has bourbon.
Oh, well, okay, then that's not simple syrup.
Yeah.
It's old-fashioned simple syrup.
A little extra 151.
You just spilled.
I don't know. Well, now that's
We're
gonna
gonna set that on fire.
I can't do it. Then I borrow a blazer from one of the owners. When you get in a situation like this, you gotta ask yourself, Corey Feldman? Or not. I think I'm gonna have to Corey Feldman this. We turn out the lights so we can see the flame better. Then I put on some protective gear and I'm ready to go.
The secret to doing it is you can't just pour it all in at all once.
Okay.
Okay, pour a little bit in, pour a little bit of water in. Do more and more each time. That's
I see.
Yeah. And then do a longer and longer pour. There you go. Nice.
Very nice. Watch out for that 151
I don't know what's going on. I kind of feel like I'm making a mess of your bar.
Okay. Let's put a little cinnamon. There we go.
Oh, sparkles.
More
Yeah,
sparkles.
I think
More sparkles.
Take the top off.
Move the 151.
Take the top off.
Just a side note, putting too much cinnamon on a flaming drink will put the fire out.
Cinnamony. Yeah.
Check us out on Facebook and at drinkingmadeeasy.com.